Brock Tavoyevich.
Well, I got to believe that Coach Grant Clafton, when he gets back into the locker room, is going to think about making sure that a second assist is given there.
I think you have to give a second assist, because didn't the pass come from across?
It came from on the other side of the blue line, went over to the far side and was shot on net. So, you know, sometimes these defensemen don't get the credit that they deserve on the stat sheet, and they make plays like that. They get forgotten because, you know, referees are paying attention to some other things, and I think it's important that second assist get given.
6:48 to go in our opening period. Raiders with a 1-0 lead on the Blue Devils. Here it's intercepted.
Bonacato there.
Gets it back to the point. There's Doherty with a wrister. It hit one of the Raiders, and here comes Lance dumping it in, and then a big check by Doherty on Lance. Doherty battles for the puck.
I feel like that's kind of what the doctor ordered here for the Blue Devils. They need to finish a couple of checks here just to get in it. It feels like they're a little flat right now.
Here comes Ryan Scherf for the Blue Devils. Cross ice pass. Tried to hit Bonacato, tried to hit Doherty. Now Dawson Flatley coming into the zone. Is that Scherf again? Again, new numbers for some of these kids. It'll take a while to get used to. Here come the Raiders, and Vekic has it poke checked away.
Yeah, a couple of these are new numbers, but you got some new faces here on the varsity roster. A couple guys stepped right from the Bantam A team from last year right into the varsity role. Brett Oakland, one of them, number 34. Another one being Ryan Scherf, number 29, came right from the Bantam team, and 22, Grant Bonacato. Just a couple of names that are new from last year on the varsity roster.
Puck was controlled by Traume. Shoots it to the near boards, and the Blue Devils will finally get it out of the zone. Here comes Zadnikar in the zone, and Nate will just dump it in real deep for the Blue Devils. Chesser after it, and now Birdsell will get it out. Zoop is trying to control it. He overskates it. Now coming in, this is Moreland. Moreland with a move and a goal. Cade Moreland scores for the Blue Devils.
Well, fantastic turnover there at center ice, and it actually happened on transition. He poke checks the puck away, and every time you get number 7 in the clear, you better believe there's about a 99% chance it's in the back of the net. And I'm not just saying that because he's my cousin. I'm saying it because I've watched him since he was a little guy when I started coaching in town here when he was a squirt. He's just one of those guys that knows where to be. Was right in the spot in the position to turn the puck over, and as soon as he gets control of it, watch out, it's going in.
Well, they say unassisted, and I think there will be an assist added when the coach gets in the locker room, because I thought Zupis was involved in that play for the Blue Devils right at the blue line. We're tied 1-1 with 4:40 to go in our period. Big check into the backboards. This is Lawson, and now it's picked up by Kylan of the Blue Devils. Here comes Kylan into the zone, and tapped away. Puck is loose. Centering pass right towards the net. Coming up on 4 minutes to go. We just want to let our viewers know we are experiencing some technical difficulties here at the Miners. This is Oakland picking up the puck, having some technical difficulties with our live stream and also with our live television. We should have everything cleared up very, very shortly for you, and we'll hope that you'll be able to enjoy tonight's hockey game. Again, please be patient, and we should get everything figured out as quickly as we can. This is Birdsall controlling the puck. Flatley is all over him. Flatley tries to take it away. Birdsall trying to control it, and then Zadnikar just shoots it along the boards over to the near side where Dillon was after it. Now Birdsall trying to center it. Boy, Birdsall has really made his presence known.
Yeah, there's no question. He's definitely a staple on that roster right now. And the last time I saw him last Saturday, the time before that, he was wearing navy blue. But definitely coming out here and looking pretty sharp in a green, white, and black jersey. So
puck was kept in. Centering pass right in front of shot, and a save by Krybeck, and the shot taken by Raihala. Comes back to the point, kept in by Trebojevic. And now he lost control. And Miller will skate back into neutral ice with under 3 to go in our opening period. 1-1 hockey game. Blue Devils got the equalizer from Moreland at the 12-minute mark. Here's a stuff job. And Krybik got the stick on it once again. And it's cleared up into the crowd. And I'll tell you, Krybik in the nets.
He's made some big saves already early in this game, and I know one he couldn't really help that ended up in the back of the net. But a couple of really key saves he's made that have kept this, a one-goal game early on and then just hung in there so that the Blue Devils could tie it up. Cam Krybik definitely being the difference here in the first period. But you could see, since that goal has went in, the Blue Devils have stepped their pace up just a notch.
Here's Kylan's pass to Moreland. Here comes Moreland. Zupit's on his right. Now Zupit's comes into the middle. Moreland tries to go around Lance, and Lance took him out of the play. Puck along the near boards. This is Mitchell Vekic. He gets popped by Jack Zupitz. Cross ice to Lance. Cameron Lance in center. Oh, nice move by Lance into the zone, being hounded by a couple Blue Devils. Coming up on 2 minutes to go, and now here comes Zupitz. Splits the D. Zupitz trying to go on the backhand, but a nice defensive play by Aaron Elich of the Raiders. And here come the Raiders back. Trombley into the zone. Trombley cross ice to Vekic. Back into the middle, and it's cleared out of the slot area. Miller will keep it in for the Raiders with $1:45 to go in our opening period. 1-1 Virginia and Greenway. Tuesday night hockey. Blue Devils able to clear it out, and Miller will go back into his own end after it. Miller up to Lawson. He's bumped off the play, and Virginia.
We're going to have a power play penalty kill for Virginia here. We've got a slash on Josh Doherty. So Greenway is going to go on the power play, and a pretty lethal power play that these guys have here. They've got on their first power play unit coming out of the rink. It looks to me like their second unit is coming out right now. They're 0 for 4, but I'm telling you, the guys that they got are pretty strong.
And the Blue Devils in the first game were perfect on the penalty kill, 5 for 5.
100%. Do you see the guys that are coming out of the rink here now for the Raiders? This is their second unit. When their first unit comes out, it's a pretty talented group of young men. Like I said, they are 0 for 4. They're 0 on their power play, but that's with one game that they've played, and there weren't that many penalties called in it.
Here's Birdsall, lost control in the circle. We're in our final minute of the opening period. Puck is along the near boards. This is Raihela. Raihela will give it back to Birdsall, back to Raihela, and it's deflected out of the zone. Nice play by Tony Chesser of the Blue Devils. 40 seconds to go in the opening period. Power play for the remaining time in this opening period for the Raiders. Says Lance, the burst of speed, left side, drops it into the middle. A shot right on Krybik. Picked up by Lance. He tried to stuff it. Puck is loose. It's cleared away. Lance will pick it up. He'll get it back to Miller at the point. And now it's intercepted. And Moreland will just clear it the length of the ice for the Blue Devils. 18 seconds to go in their opening period. Raiders on a 5-on-4 advantage. This is Dante Lawson into the attacking zone, left side. Lawson's go over a shot high over the top of the net, clears the zone, and our clock is going to run out in the opening period, and the teams are going to go to the locker room tied at a goal apiece. 17 minutes in the book. 1-1 Virginia and Greenway on this Tuesday night. We'll take a break. We'll come back with the stats after this.
With the support of many fine sponsors such as these over the years, Mesabi Community Television and Locker Talk have been able to continue expanding. With announcer Bob Cohn and cameramen like Darwin Aller, Javante George, and Justin Pullman, and with support from our program manager Lindsay George, in cooperation with Virginia's public schools and the City of Virginia, we've been able to keep upgrading. Currently, we can be seen live and via tape delay on Channel 5, YouTube, and Facebook, as well as bringing you area sports this year, including UMD football, volleyball, and many area teams on My9 Sports through KBJR's reaching out to our team. Mesabi Community Television will also continue to bring you sports from Mesabi East, Mountain Iron Buell, and Chisholm schools. Your mutual cooperation allows everyone to come out ahead.
I'm Jermaine, I'm from Milwaukee, and this is my Mesabi story.
My name's Laura. I am from Virginia, Minnesota. I've been a lifelong Iron Ranger, and this is my Mesabi story.
My name is Hannah. I'm from Hermantown, and this is my Mesabi story.
The faculty at Mesabi Range College, they really care.
I'm very impressed with the way the staff has worked with us.
Oh, I love the program. Absolutely love it. I couldn't imagine doing anything different.
Providing transportation service for the young to the old, for the able-bodied and those who are not quite so able. Arrowhead Transit. It's your ride to get you where you need to go. Call 800-862-0175.
Roosevelt Elementary School continues to infuse new technologies into the classroom. Hands-on project-based learning prepares students for higher-level thinking skills. Region-based education allows students to learn in their own communities.
Roosevelt Elementary School is consistently performing at the highest levels on the MCA reading and math tests. Academic achievement is of the utmost importance. Roosevelt Elementary School. Good kids getting even better.
Local television programming is now available to everyone through MesabiCommunityTV.com. From our main page, you can find all of our live sports broadcasts, simultaneously streamed over YouTube, the High School Cube, and also live on Channel 5 Public Access. Archived sporting events are also available on our website for Chisholm, Mount Iron, Virginia, and Mesabi East schools. You can also download all of these events by going to your selected event, clicking on the share icon, and then clicking on the address on the center of the screen. There, you will find your download button. The P.S. Engman Agency is a family-owned business that has served the area with compassion and quality service for over 100 years. We are grateful for their fine support of Blue Devil Sports on Channel 5.
And welcome back to the Miners Memorial Building, the Bree-Coupolate Arena. We have played one period of hockey, and our stats and our scoring sponsored by the Arrowhead Transit at 1-800-862-0175. Let's take a look at our stats in that first period, and pretty much dominated by one team, but the big key is the saves by goaltender Cam Kryvik. He stopped 10 out of 11 shots in that first period. Just an outstanding period. Blue Devils only able to get 4 shots on net, but they hit one time, so that's 25%. That's not bad. You mentioned that, Reed.
Yeah, I think I said that partway through the period that, the puck was down in the Blue Devil end for most of the period and saw a lot of action. Like you said, 11 shots on net there for Cam Kryvik. But I mentioned that partway through the period that all they're going to need is one opportunity with the right guy, and the right guy got that opportunity. He was Johnny on the spot to pick the puck off right there at the Greenway blue line, came in all alone. If that kid's going to be all alone with the puck, I guarantee you there's about a 99.9% chance it's in the back of the net. So they got their one chance. They had 4 shots on net, but I would think that Coach Finseth is in the locker room right now talking about, you know what, guys, we came out of that. We're not hurt right now. Nothing hurt, but that wasn't a really good period for the Blue Devils, if I'm being honest. It's the one guy that I was really impressed with, you mentioned, is Ryback. He made some huge saves. The score could easily, with the talent of the Greenway Raiders, could easily be 4-1 right now.
So anyways, those are the stats in the opening period, again sponsored by the Arrowhead Transit at 1-800-862-0175. Now let's take a look at the 2 goals that were scored in that first period. At 9:26, Mitchell Vekic scores for the Raiders, and there it is. His shot came from the blue line. Brock Tobojevic got one of the assists, and then the Blue Devils came back, and here's the player that Coach Larson is talking about, and that's number 7, Gabe Moreland, with a goal. They said unassisted, but I'm sure they're going to try to look at that again, because I'm quite sure Jack Zupich was a part of that play and probably should have gotten credit with assist on that. So those are our 2 goals in the first period. Again, stats and scoring sponsored by the Arrowhead Transit at 1-800-862-0175. We're going to take a little break, and we'll come back with the second period. And again, we hope to try to get our stream and our live telecast on Mediacom Channel 5 all ironed out, so our viewers will be able to enjoy the final 2 periods of tonight's high school hockey action. This is Section 7 hockey from the Miners Moore Building. Virginia and Greenway tied at 1-1 after 1.
With the support of many fine sponsors such as these over the years, Mesabi Community Television and Locker Talk have been able to continue expanding. With announcer Bob Cohn and cameramen like Darwin Aller, Javante George, and Justin Pullman, and with support from our program manager Lindsay George, in cooperation with Virginia's public schools and the City of Virginia, we've been able to keep upgrading. Currently, we can be seen live and via tape delay on Channel 5, YouTube, and Facebook, as well as bringing you area sports this year, including UMD football, volleyball, and many area teams on My9 Sports through KBJR's reaching out to our team. Mesabi Community Television will also continue to bring you sports from Mesabi East, Mountain Iron Buell, and Chisholm schools. Your mutual cooperation allows everyone to come out ahead.
I'm Jermaine, I'm from Milwaukee, and this is my Mesabi story.
My name's Laura. I am from Virginia, Minnesota. I've been a lifelong Iron Ranger, and this is my Mesabi story.
My name is Hannah. I'm from Hermantown, and this is my Mesabi story.
The faculty at Mesabi Range College, they really care.
I'm very impressed with the way the staff has worked with us.
Oh, I love the program. Absolutely love it. I couldn't imagine doing anything different.
Providing transportation service for the young to the old, for the able-bodied and those who are not quite so able. Arrowhead Transit. It's your ride to get you where you need to go. Call 800-862-0175.
Roosevelt Elementary School continues to infuse new technologies into the classroom. Hands-on project-based learning prepares students for higher-level thinking skills. Region-based education allows students to learn in their own communities.
Roosevelt Elementary School is consistently performing at the highest levels on the MCA reading and math tests. Academic achievement is of the utmost importance. Roosevelt Elementary School. Good kids getting even better.
Local television programming is now available to everyone through MesabiCommunityTV.com. From our main page, you can find all of our live sports broadcasts, simultaneously streamed over YouTube, the High School Cube, and also live on Channel 5 Public Access. Archived sporting events are also available on our website for Chisholm, Mountain Iron, Virginia, and Mesabi East schools. You can also download all of these events by going to your selected event, clicking on the share icon, and then clicking on the address on the center of the screen. There, you will find your download button.
Welcome back to the Bree Couplet Arena, the Miners Memorial Building. We're waiting for the Blue Devils to come out of the chute as our camera up on the top is waiting for the Blue and White of Virginia, who have tied the Raiders here after one period. That goal came at the 12-minute mark. Cade Moreland scored for the Blue Devils. Reed, our next telecast will be a My 9 telecast. We'll be over at the home of the Grand Rapids Thunderhawks, IRA Civic Center. Be kind of fun to get over there and set up. And
it's kind of it's an arena that I kind of know pretty well, Bob.
I would think you know the bounces and everything over there.
The old hometown of myself there, and it's really awesome. I get the opportunity to see my alma mater and my current school that I'm working at Grand Rapids High School, and the team that I used to coach here in Virginia. I'm pretty excited to see that. I know both sets of kids very well. Obviously know everybody on the roster here in Virginia, and I'm getting to know those kids in Grand Rapids really well.
It's going to be a fun year in high school hockey this year. I think there's going to be a lot of good teams. I'm looking for Evelyn Gilbert to be a much improved team. I read some of their some of the kids coming back there, and they're pretty optimistic over there. And of course, the teams down Duluth are always fun to watch, Duluth East and Duluth Marshall and those kind of teams too. But I just think it's going to be a good year in high school hockey this year in northeastern Minnesota.
Oh, absolutely. And there's definitely some teams up here that are going to make some waves at the state level. I mean, there's a lot of people talking about Greenway. Obviously, they're talking about Hermantown. Obviously, they're talking about Duluth East. But there's going to be some surprises, and I don't want to put my foot in my mouth here and say anything out of turn, but I don't want anybody to count out who they're starting to call the number 3 team in Section 7A. They're saying a lot about Virginia being the number 3, but I'll tell you what, if a few things come to order here as the season moves on and on, right now you're seeing a pretty even hockey game, Bob, between these two top-ranked teams in Section 7A. And Virginia is down one of their top players tonight. He's out for a check from behind penalty that happened on Saturday, and Caleb Bielke. So when he comes back, that brings a heck of a lot more speed to that team and definitely more depth. So I want people in the area to understand that Greenway is not the number 2 team. I think right now Hermantown's the team to beat in the section, but I think it's every bit Virginia's number 2 as it is Greenway's.
Looks like they're having some trouble getting the ice hardened once again here at the Miners. They've had that trouble the last couple of years, and I'm just not sure what the problem has been, but you can see all along the near boards here, it still looks pretty wet. And
well, I can tell you right now that since they passed the bond here in town in Virginia, and they get the opportunity to start talking about building the new building, it's about time, number one, and number two, Boy, that's really going to drive hockey in the right direction in this town, as well as figure skating and everything else that the city does through this building. It's going to be phenomenal, but it sounds like the building plans are going to go to the north side of the building in the parking lot.
Correct.
When that gets built and up and ready and running, then they'll start talking about tearing this one down here and making this into a parking lot. So, like I said, definitely well needed. The only thing that I'm happy about is that I'm not currently living across the street from all of that construction that's going to take place. I used to be right out the front door of the building here, and not there anymore. I'm over in Grand Rapids, but
just think of the value of the house across the street now with a new $42 million building here.
Yeah, I hear you on that one, but I certainly would not be excited about all the banging around at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning in the summer when they're doing construction. So I'm excited that I'm not involved in that, but a little bummed out that I'm no longer part of the program, and it works, and they're getting a new building. So congratulations to everybody in Virginia, a hockey program here in town, and Coach Finseth coming into his brand new job. Not only has he got a great program to work with, but he's got a brand new building to coach out of, and I'm sure he's really excited.
Again, we've got a slight delay because the ice is not quite hardened here at the Miners. There's a look at the Blue Devil bench. We'll zoom in a little bit on the Blue Devil coaching staff. There's Coach Weston right there. That's Chris Weston, a former Blue Devil who is taken over as a junior varsity coach. You can see in the bottom right corner, there is Coach Finseth right there talking to a couple of his players. Now he'll stand up. He's the first-year head coach here at Virginia High School.
Coach Finseth with quite the resume as well, too. He came from first coaching job actually over in Evelyn Gilbert, coached back there in 2006. Actually, Coach Todd Krybeck used to coach with him over there before Todd was the head coach. Yep. Cale was there for 1 year, then moved on to the junior ranks, then got involved with St. Cloud Apollo, went to a state tournament as an assistant coach at St. Cloud Apollo, and then took a hiatus for a couple of years, a little relaxation with family, and he's got a young one that he was getting to, toddler age here now, and now taking over as the head coach here is a perfect timing for him. So people are excited, and he's excited to be part of this program.
Underway, 10 seconds to go on this 5-on-4 for the Raiders. Just underway, second period action. Comes back to Miller. Let's go for blast in. Krybeck with another save for the Blue Devils. And Virginia will ice the puck out of the zone. And now both teams are skating 5 aside. Here comes Christian Miller cross ice. A little bit behind Cromley. Now Lance shoots it off the backboards in his own end, and it's cleared back into neutral ice. Second period just underway. Raiders with one shot on that power play. Comes back to the point. Lance pass a little too far for Tromley. He could not control it.
This is going to be a challenging period for both teams, Bob, as the ice still, after going for a little over a minute here, the ice is still not set up right. There's water all over the place. It's sticky. It's going to get kind of interesting here until things kind of dry on the boards. You can see it, guys falling all over the place. Puck just doesn't want to move right now on that ice. And like we said, we're getting a new building in this town, and it's well needed at this point in time.
Boy, look at the sticky ice. Now we got a penalty coming. It'll be a Blue Devil power play as a Raider is going to go off. It looks like it's going to be Aaron Elish.
We got a little iffy in there in the corner, but you know what? I think it was a little bit more slippery than anything else. But referee felt like it was the time to call the penalty, and hey, let's get the Blue Devils on the power play and see what these guys can do. I know they've got a lethal power play, just like Greenway has. Some pretty talented players there. He's going to go ahead with the second unit to start off with, but I imagine there'll be a short stint before they can get Moreland and company back out on the ice again with Moreland, Kylan, Koldajelli, and Bonacato, and likely Jack Zupitz as well, too.
Blue Devils are 1 for 3 on the power play in the first game. Raiders were perfect on the penalty kill. They were 4 for 4 against Grand Rapids.
So right here on the power play, you've got Brett Oakland, Jay Isaacson, Ryan Scherf, Nathan Zadnikar, and you've got Bailey Bonacato up top as well. Looks like they're starting to change already and put the first unit on.
Here comes the pass. Coming in the zone is Rahela. Right, let's go over shot just wide. Goes all the way back in the Raider end, and Miller's going to get there just ahead of the Blue Devil. That was Zupitz. And now here's a long pass coming in the zone. This is Lawson. Nice play by Kotajelli. Lawson will dump it in deep, and now Zupic shoots it to the far side to Kylan. Cross ice. Here come the Blue Devils. Moreland, left side. Moreland cross ice pass, walking into Zupic, and the shot was right on. And a save made by Penny, the goaltender for the Raiders. Good scoring chance.
Yeah, absolutely. That was actually that shot there. Check that. That was actually Kylan that got that shot off there on the right-hand side. And Zach Kylan had a really interesting fall. He played for the Iron Rangers over in White Lakes. Played some junior hockey before the season, and I can already tell the difference that it's made in Zach Kylan. And he's quicker, he's stronger, he's a pace ahead of a lot of guys out here right now, and that's the purpose for him playing that junior hockey before the season started. So fun to see that kids are getting those opportunities around here, and pretty exciting that one of our own, Todd Krybeck, is the head coach there.
Moreland try to control it. Clears the zone. Virginia's going to have to tag up.
And actually, two coaches that are there in White Lakes there with the Rangers that coached with me. Todd Krybeck was our goalie coach for many years here in Virginia while I was at the helm. And Ryan Colby, my former assistant, is also on the staff there.
Here's the Raiders. Pass right in front by Lawson. And here comes Moreland back. 9 seconds to go in this power play. Moreland coming in. Nice move. And just deflected off Lance's skate. Now Moreland will try to control it again. Here's Moreland. Pass to the slot here. Deflected away. And the Raiders will kill off the penalty and get their fifth skater back on the ice. 1-1 hockey game. We're 4 minutes into our second period. Here's Rylov trying to go through the defense. And his backhand was just wide off the backboard to the near side where it's picked up by Moreland, and he'll just ice the puck. Oh, it goes right on. One of those bouncing pucks.
That's a scary one right there. Careful here by the bench. That was almost, if we had touched up jumping onto the ice there, would have been too many men on the ice there. Blue Devils got to be careful on their line changes.
That was Birdsell, 7 coming into the attacking zone. Blue Devils, the pass goes up for Oakland, and now he'll control it. Here's Oakland by himself. His shot was off the blocker, goes up into the high netting. Now, you mentioned something last year. I remember we talked about it. You mentioned something with the Grand Rapids team, the way they were coming off the bench. You said they had to work on something because they were, was it slow coming off the bench, the way they were doing it?
Yeah, and I always pay attention to that. I'm kind of a coach that likes to pay attention to these small details, but you know, we get a little more time. I can explain it a little bit more before the puck drops, but I always like to see my guys sit. I know that in the past my guys would stand, but I have them stay away from the door, because if you go out the door, you get on the ice quicker. You can go in the box over the boards, but if you go out the door, you're taking less time getting out onto the ice, and that's one of the things I always used to teach.
Okay. Puck is sitting in the circle. Ryla gets it up to one of his wingmates, Jernander and Birdsall on this line. This is Jernander. He goes down. Again, that ice is still not quite hard enough here in the second period, and we've almost played 5 minutes of this period. This is Birdsall. A shot goes right on. Comes back to the point where Trebojevic will dump it in the corner. Picked up by Jernander of the Raiders. Jernander back to Trebojevic. Now Birdsall. Looks like they're on the power play right now. Ryla shot and a save made by Krybeck. Loose puck is picked up by Kylan. Skates in behind his net. Here's Kylan out in front of the net. Kylan, a couple nice moves, center ice. He gets it off to Scherf. He's back to Kylan. On the backhand, save made by Penny. Kylan continues to hustle for the Kotajelli's goal is shot.
Coach Finseth doing a little bit of line juggling here in this period. He's got some line combinations that were different than the first period. Could be coming off the power play and trying to get back to the original lines, but at the same time, maybe he sees some things that he wanted to change in between periods, and it looks like we've got a few different combinations here.
Puck is kept in his zone. That was by Bailey Bonacato of the Blue Devils. Now Miller tried to control it along near boards. Chester took a whack at it. It's cleared back into neutral ice. Nathan Zadnikar could not control it, and it's picked up by Ben Tromley all by himself. Raiders on a line change. Tromley centering the pass. Here's a shot taken off a blocker of the Blue Devils in front. 11 minutes to go in our second period.
Dante Lawson is a guy that has to be checked every time he's out onto the ice. When he's got the puck, I don't care where he's at, he's dangerous. High school hockey player, he's a pretty dangerous player. However, a lot of people talk about, is he going to move on, play college hockey? Yet to be determined, but definitely dangerous.
In behind the net. It outstropped for Lawson. Centering pass right out in front. Vekic with a shot. Puck is loose. Now Vekic will control it again. In behind the Blue Devil net. Vekic gets it back to Lance at the point. He'll dump it in deep. Lawson in behind, battling with Kotajelli. Lawson will control it off the back of the net. 10:15 to go in our period. Comes back to the point. Elich will give it back to Lawson. A shot hit the side of the net. Blue Devils having some trouble clearing it. Then now they'll finally get it out of the zone. Says Lance. Puck is loose, and it's cleared all the way back in the Raiders' zone. And now the Blue Devils will change all 5 of their skaters as icing is called on Virginia.
Yep. Well, a little interesting in that shift there because it got a little bit lackadaisical in the defensive zone, and I think that's always an area, though, that coaches have a hard time getting their system in place early in the year as the D zone, and unfortunately that's the most important zone in my opinion. Most good coaches try to work their way from the net out, and it's difficult to get your system set and ready to go early in the year.
Blue Devils able to clear it out. That was Donahue after it. Comes back into the attacking zone. Now Miller will control it. Here's Miller trying to get it over to Carlson. Donahue in the corner. And finally the Blue Devils will try to get the puck out, but it's kept in once again deep in the zone. Flatley after it for the Blue Devils along the near boards. He has some trouble, and it's kept in by Trebojevic. 9:10 to go in our second period. This is Flatley. Here's a long pass into the zone. They try to hit Drake, but unable to connect. And now the Blue Devils will come back with that number 1 line again. Moreland, Zupitz, and Kylie. Here's a pass right out in front. And Zupitz on the back check made a nice play for Virginia. Now it'll be kept in, walking in, a shot off the pipe, a shot by Jernander.
Well, this line really has come out every single time tonight. I know I sound like a broken record, but this Ryla, Jernander, and Birdsall line have really been a real big force tonight for the Raiders. It's been interesting to see because they are going against Virginia's top line, and they're having a hard time getting the puck out of the zone.
Puck comes to the near boards. After it is Flatley. He could not control it, and now it's picked up by Moreland. Here's Moreland. Goes down. We got trip coming, and the Blue Devils are going to go on the power play.
Well, that is a craft. And I got to say, that was definitely a trip there, but I really like the ability to be able to sell it a little extra.
You have
and
to.
I can give him a hard time because he's my cousin, but he sold it a little. Nice trip, but he's a little sell there. Good kid. He's a great hockey player, but I got to give him a hard time. He sold it just a little.
Ryla hardly even touched him.
No, he got a little bit of a leg, a little bit of a stick on a leg, but you know what? If you're not going to get through the guy, take a little bit of a dive there. There's nothing wrong with that. He's going to get a little dive, and guess what? Number 1 power play unit out on the rink right now. Fun to see this power play.
Miller shoots it along the boards. Kylan tried to control it, but Lawson will pick up the puck.
You know, depending on the severity of how somebody
Oh, stole it right out front. Zupitz missed it. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. That was more important to get that call there. Zupitz picked the puck off, went right to the net there on that one, and just couldn't finish on it.
Here's Zupitz off his skate, comes back in the zone where it's picked up by Trombley. He got taken down. Raider fans looking for a call. Nothing was called on the play. Now Moreland will get it up to Kylan. Kylan will get it back to Moreland. Moreland's got Zupitz on his left. Oh, Chester just took a big check along the near boards. Picked up by Kylan right out front. And Kylan could not get the stick square. And now here's a long pass. Coming in is Ben Trombley all by himself. Trombley tries to go around the defense. Here's a backhand shot high over the top of the net.
Great defensive play by Nathan Koldajelli right there. He was really patient on getting up into Trombley's face. Trombley did get a shot off, but the angle that Koldajelli took at him was the reason why the puck went over the net.
Here's a pass over to Moreland. Moreland, let's go for a shot off the blocker of Penny. Raiders back on their heels right now. Here's a shot taken, and it goes up into the high netting. A hard shot by
Zadnikar. And I'll tell you what, when you look at Nathan Zadnikar shoot that puck, I get out of the way when he shoots. I mean, that stick has got to be 8 feet long. I'm not even kidding you. That thing is long. And he's just, when he leans on that thing, he puts some whip on it. There's a couple times last year where I'm getting out of the way when he's shooting.
Blue Devils with 36 seconds remaining on this 5-on-4 advantage. And the Raiders will break out of the zone. This is Birdsall. His shot off the Blue Devil defense. That was off Isaacson. And now here comes Zadnikar back with that 8-foot stick of his going left side into the corner. Try to center it. It rings around the boards to the far side. Blue Devils unable to keep it in. That was Bailey Bonacato. And they'll have to regroup back in their own end. Isaacson goes in behind his own net. Virginia has time for one more rush. This is Oakland. Controls puck. Taken away, but then recontrolled. And the puck comes into the zone. And both teams now will be skating 5 aside. Good scoring opportunities for the Blue Devils on that power play.
Yeah, good chances there. Jack Supitz with a chance in front of the net. Actually, Cade Moreland from the point later on in the power play with a shot from the point, and it had eyes. It almost hit Lumber and got in with somebody in front of the net there. But good opportunities, good flow there.
Here come the Raiders trying to attack. Pass right out front to Jernander. And there is Cam Krybik just covering up. And now, oh, man, some extracurricular activity.
Well, they're definitely, I don't see any hands going up right now, but it looks like referee Steve Anderson is going to make a call on both just to keep it a little safe in here. He's going to give Jack Supitz a penalty, but he's also going to give Tristan Birdsall a penalty as well, too. So I guess that's the safe call for him. I don't know that I necessarily agree one way or the other, but I do know that Steve Anderson's a good referee. So maybe just giving it a call so that he's trying to keep things in check here early on.
So there'll be coincidental minor penalties. Each team will skate 5 aside. This is Ryle in behind that. Try to send a pass out for Jernander. Jernander could not control it. Here come the Blue Devils out of the zone. That was Drake putting it in. Boy, Drake had a pretty good year playing football for MIB last fall.
Yeah, Dylan Drake is an absolute machine. And his feet never quit moving. You can tell when he's out there, he makes things happen. He gets on the ice. He's off in about 25, 30 seconds because he's spent. He's already coming off the ice, but guess what? That's because he expended all the energy he had.
Coming in and taking a shot was Lawson that time. And the Blue Devils will just ice the puck, and we'll have a face-off with 4:55 to go in our second period. 1-1.
Nothing really different than in the first period. Again, Greenway getting a lot of opportunities at the Virginia net, and old number 40 standing tall down there, Cam Krybik, making some really, really clutch saves again in this period. A couple opportunities there by Dante Lawson right in front of the net, and Cam makes a great leg save. He's holding tall.
Vekic took a shot at it, and now Oakland will pick up the puck for the Blue Devils. Zadnikar will try to get there. Lance will pick up the puck in behind his net to Elich into the middle, and here they come. This is Ben Tromley. Cross-ice pass for Vekic. Written off the play on a nice check by Bonacato, the Blue Devils. And now Bonacato comes in and takes Tromley in the backboards. Tromley lost his stick. Comes back to the point. Eilish could not control it. It clears the zone, and the Raiders will have to tag up.
You're not seeing a lot from either team's third unit here tonight. The first period we saw a few more shifts out of the Bonacato, Scherf, and Dylan Drake line, and actually got a shift here just a little bit ago, and they're putting them out right now here. It seems like both teams are getting a little bit of a mixture in with their third unit. Greenway's done the same thing. You haven't seen a lot from Carlson, Donahue, and Versich either. Or Vuric, I should say, but they haven't. They've been mixing them in with the other lines, same as Virginia has done.
Well, I guess everything is working properly with our stream and with our TV live feed. I've gotten a couple nice compliments from our friends that have been watching, and Boy, I hope you're enjoying a heck of a hockey game that we're calling, because this is a fun game tonight. Two evenly matched teams, Virginia and Greenway. Raiders come in with a preseason ranking of number 4. Blue Devils without any ranking yet, but I'll tell you, if they continue to play the way they've been playing tonight, I think you're going to see this team do real well this year in Section 7 hockey.
I'll be honest with you, if I were anybody on that staff right now or team, I would be okay with not being ranked right now, because they're going to fly under the radar. And as soon as they start putting some numbers up against some teams here, it's not going to be under the radar for very long. They're going to be ranked at some point in time in the top 10, maybe even in the top 5. So team like this with the returning talent of a lot of senior leadership here. Ooh, a little bit of a quick whistle there by Troy Scott, but I think if you're a Blue Devil fan, you're not upset with the fact that that thing got blown quick, because it snuck right behind Cam Krybeck.
Cam's been solid again. We got 3:18 to go in our second period. 1-1 hockey game. Again, junior varsity game went to Greenway tonight, 1-0. They scored a first period goal and no scoring in the final 30 minutes of that hockey game.
There was some interesting chances, though, for the Virginia JV team at the end of the game, and puck was down there, goalie was pulled, opportunities in front of the net, they just couldn't bury it, and the crowd standing on their feet. They had a pretty decent crowd for that JV game, so it was kind of fun to see that. Unfortunately, they didn't end up with the win, but it was pretty exciting there at the end of that JV game.
3 minutes and 18 seconds to go in our second period.
It's always a blast working here with Mesabi Community Television. We've got such a great crew, and there's always jokes that you guys don't get to hear on the air that Bob and I get to hear from our little birdie on our right-hand shoulder here. Hilarious.
Puck is kept in, and Elish will grab it.
Pretty lighthearted, but it's fun.
Intercepted by Moreland. Tried to go back to his forehand, and the puck was taken off his stick by Tromley. And it's cleared out of the zone. Lance to Elish. He'll dump it in deep. 2:40 to go in the second period. Isaacson in behind his net. Oh boy, a miscommunication by the Blue Devils. Puck is loose, and Krybeck, is he off the side of the net, or he saved it? Comes to the near boards, in behind. Jernander shoots it along the boards.
Well, I'm not sure that I would have changed this line. Right now, he's got 3 guys out there, and it could be just because of a line change, but 3 different combinations with the Greenway Raiders. He's got Jernander out there with Lawson and Ryla, and that line was doing pretty good earlier on.
Here comes Moreland back to his forehand, a shot just wide, and he had the goaltender going the other way. Coming back is Tristan Birdsall. Birdsall gives it off, and a shot was taken by Lawson. Krybeck is down. He'll now get back up. Miller will dump it in deep. Lawson gets it back to Miller at the point. 1:45 to go in our period. Miller cannot control it into the zone. Lost his stick. Now Birdsall gets ridden off the play, and we have a whistle right at the blue line.
It's be interesting to see now what we have for a second unit or a second line here for the Greenway Raiders.
Well, he's got Ryla with Birdsall and Vekic.
Yeah, so the Vekic was the change. Vekic was skating with Trombley and Lawson a little bit earlier, and he switched Jernander up onto that line, and actually Dante Lawson was with him just for a little bit, but pretty interesting to see that. That line was pretty dominant there for half the game.
90 seconds to go in our second period. Birdsall in behind. Now Ryla will try to control it. Again, he had a great football season for the Raiders. Here's a shot, was just wide. Puck is loose in the circle, and it's cleared out by Bonicato of the Blue Devils. Right in front of the players' bench, and it's shot into the Virginia end. We're coming up on our final 60 seconds of the period. Off the boards, and here comes Oakland. Oakland's got Chester in the middle. Oakland in behind. We try to send. Here's a pass, a shot taken by Bonicato, and a save made by goaltender Penny. Oakland will keep it in for the Blue Devils. Jumps it in deep, where Lance in behind his net will control it with 40 seconds to go in our second period. And now the Raiders finally get into the Virginia end, but running it down is Zach Kylan in behind his net, comes in front of his net. Oh boy, almost a bad move. And now comes into the zone. Here is Moreland. Moreland's shot. Goal!
Number 7 with a fantastic shot on net, and we've talked about this before, Bob Cohn. When number 7 has time, watch out. Great breakout pass from the other end that came from Bailey Bonicato. 7 just with a timed release on that shot. Cade Moreland snaps that baby in the back of the net. And again, when he's got the opportunity to shoot the puck, Bob, that goalie had no idea where that thing was going right now. And it's been that way for years. And again, it's not just because he's my cousin, Bob, but pretty fun to see.
A sniper.
Yeah, absolutely.
What a shot. That's a good, hard shot. Here's right in the blue. That was on the goal. And just like that, with 7 seconds to go.
And Dante Lawson finds the free ice right there, and the Raiders making sure that they're going to keep that momentum going, keep it even up anyways, but just a little weird turnover there just to the left of Cam Krybeck, and guess what? Number 13 finds the puck on his backhand and right behind Cam Krybeck, and with the excitement that we just had on the Blue Devil side of things, that just got stifled here a little bit before we go in for a period break.
Our second period is going to come to an end. We've played 2 exciting periods, 34 minutes of hockey. We're tied 2-2. Let's get ready for our final 17 minutes after this timeout. This is Blue Devil hockey on this Tuesday night.
With the support of many fine sponsors such as these over the years, Mesabi Community Television and Locker Talk have been able to continue expanding. With announcer Bob Cohn and cameramen like Darwin Aller, Javante George, and Justin Pullman, and with support from our program manager Lindsay George, in cooperation with Virginia's public schools and the City of Virginia, we've been able to keep upgrading. Currently, we can be seen live and via tape delay on Channel 5, YouTube, and Facebook, as well as bringing you area sports this year, including UMD football, volleyball, and many area teams on My9 Sports through KBJR's reaching out to our team. Mesabi Community Television will also continue to bring you sports from Mesabi East, Mountain Iron Buell, and Chisholm schools. Your mutual cooperation allows everyone to come out ahead.
I'm Jermaine, I'm from Milwaukee, and this is my Mesabi story.
My name's Laura. I am from Virginia, Minnesota. I've been a lifelong Iron Ranger, and this is my Mesabi story.
My name is Hannah. I'm from Hermantown, and this is my Mesabi story.
The faculty at Mesabi Range College, they really care.
I'm very impressed with the way the staff has worked with us.
Oh, I love the program. Absolutely love it. I couldn't imagine doing anything different.
Providing transportation service for the young to the old, for the able-bodied and those who are not quite so able. Arrowhead Transit. It's your ride to get you where you need to go. Call 800-862-0175.
Roosevelt Elementary School continues to infuse new technologies into the classroom. Hands-on project-based learning prepares students for higher-level thinking skills. Region-based education allows students to learn in their own communities.
Roosevelt Elementary School is consistently performing at the highest levels on the MCA reading and math tests. Academic achievement is of the utmost importance. Roosevelt Elementary School. Good kids getting even better.
Local television programming is now available to everyone through MasabiCommunityTV.com. From our main page, you can find all of our live sports broadcasts, simultaneously streamed over YouTube, the High School Cube, and also live on Channel 5 Public Access. Archived sporting events are also available on our website for Chisholm, Mountain Iron, Virginia, and Mesabi East schools. You can also download all of these events by going to your selected event, clicking on the share icon, and then clicking on the address on the center of the screen. There, you will find your download button. The P.S. Engman Agency is a family-owned business that has served the area with compassion and quality service for over 100 years. We are grateful for their fine support of Blue Devil Sports on Channel 5.
Well, let's take a look now at our stats and our scoring after 34 minutes of hockey action. And again, our stats and scoring is sponsored by the Arrowhead Transit at 1-800-862-0175, or check them out on the web at arrowheadtransit.com. As you look at the statistics, again, the statistics read favor the Raiders. They've controlled most of the shots, but I think the Blue Devils, for the 11 shots they've taken, they've scored 2 goals. I think they've had some great chances to score.
Yeah, they've had great opportunities. I mean, they're getting the puck to the net when it needs to get there. They're getting opportunities to get it out of the zone. There's a few times where we've been a little concerned about the defensive zone play. And that's everybody in the D zone. That's not just focusing on defense. That's also the forwards. They've got to get a little bit more done down there. And I think there's another gear that the Blue Devils can shift to. And I know for a fact that Greenway has another gear because I saw it against Grand Rapids in front of 5,000 fans on Saturday in Grand Rapids. So I know they have another gear. I guarantee you, if I walked into the Greenway locker room right now, it'd be pretty hot and heavy in there with Coach Clapton screaming and hollering. That's his style. But he gets them to play, and I would imagine that there's going to be another level coming out here.
As I look at the Blue Devils saves, 20 saves for Cam Krybick, 10 in each period. And again, you know, he's been the difference in this hockey game tonight as he saved 22 shots.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's going to have to be big in the third period.
Well, that's the stat part. Let's now take a look at the scoring part. There was 2 goals scored in that period. They were scored 15 seconds apart. Here comes Cade Moreland scoring for the Blue Devils to give them a 2-1 lead. And before everyone could sit down again, Dante Lawson comes back and scores the tying goal to make it a 2-2 hockey game after 2. Our stats are scoring sponsored by the Arrowhead Transit at 1-800-862-0175. We'll take a break as the ice is being resurfaced. They've got their chuck-a-puck coming up very shortly, and we'll have our final 17 minutes. It should be a great 17 minutes, Reed. I'm just looking forward to seeing how the Blue Devils are going to go with their 2 lines and if you look at the level, the skill level of the two lines, you know, not to knock the Blue Devils at all, but I think the Greenway 6 forwards are a little bit stronger than the Blue Devils 6 forwards, at least in my opinion from what I've seen.
You know, they could definitely have a little bit more on the talent side of things. You know, knowing all the kids on the Blue Devil side, I just know what some of these kids can do and put in tough spots and pressure positions. And, you know, some of these guys like Cade Moreland, Jack Zupitz, Nathan Koldajelli, and even Cam Krybeck, some of these players that are in situations like this, they live for these situations. And, you know, I'm sure, just like you're saying, with the talent that they've got there with the Raiders, you know, there's some juggernauts on that team, but there's definitely, this is going to be a fun period.
So we've played 2 periods. We've run down the stats. We've run down the scoring. We'll take a timeout. We'll get ready for the final period. You're viewing tonight's telecast on MasabiCommunityTelevision.com and also Mediacom Public Access Channel 5. This is action from the Brie Couplet Arena in Virginia, Minnesota.
With the support of many fine sponsors such as these over the years, Masabi Community Television and Locker Talk have been able to continue expanding. With announcer Bob Cohen and cameramen like Darwin Aller, Javante George, and Justin Pullman, and with support from our program manager Lindsay George, in cooperation with Virginia's public schools and the City of Virginia, we've been able to keep upgrading. Currently, we can be seen live and via tape delay on Channel 5, YouTube, and Facebook, as well as bringing you area sports this year, including UMD football, volleyball, and many area teams on My9 Sports through KBJR's reaching out to our team. Masabi Community Television will also continue to bring you sports from Masabi East, Mountain Iron Buell, and Chisholm schools. Your mutual cooperation allows everyone to come out ahead.
I'm Jermaine, I'm from Milwaukee, and this is my Masabi story.
My name's Laura. I am from Virginia, Minnesota. I've been a lifelong Iron Ranger, and this is my Masabi story.
My name is Hannah. I'm from Hermantown, and this is my Masabi story.
The faculty at Masabi Range College, they really care.
I'm very impressed with the way the staff has worked with us.
Oh, I love the program. Absolutely love it. I couldn't imagine doing anything different.
Providing transportation service for the young to the old, for the able-bodied and those who are not quite so able. Arrowhead Transit. It's your ride to get you where you need to go. Call 800-862-0175.
Roosevelt Elementary School continues to infuse new technologies into the classroom. Hands-on project-based learning prepares students for higher-level thinking skills. Region-based education allows students to learn in their own communities.
Roosevelt Elementary School is consistently performing at the highest levels on the MCA reading and math tests. Academic achievement is of the utmost importance. Roosevelt Elementary School. Good kids getting even better.
Local television programming is now available to everyone through MasabiCommunityTV.com. From our main page, you can find all of our live sports broadcasts, simultaneously streamed over YouTube, the High School Cube, and also live on Channel 5 Public Access. Archived sporting events are also available on our website for Chisholm, Mountain Iron, Virginia, and Masabi East schools. You can also download all of these events by going to your selected event, clicking on the share icon and then clicking on the address on the center of the screen. There, you will find your download button. The P.S. Engman Agency is a family-owned business that has served the area with compassion and quality service for over 100 years. We are grateful for their fine support of Blue Devil Sports on Channel 5.
Well, the ice has been resurfaced. The Greenway cheerleaders out playing their school song, and the team should be returning shortly. But as I look out there again, Reed, that ice is...
I was going to say,
boy,
the ice has
like
been resurfaced, but I'll tell you what, it might be another hour and a half before it settles. You know, we talked about this earlier, right after the first period, that right in time, right in the nick of time, they passed the tax to be able to get a new building here in Virginia, and it's needed. This is probably one of the warmest arenas in the area by far. I mean, it's hot out there. When I used to coach out here, a couple of my assistant coaches used to take their jacket off and skate in a t-shirt because it's so hot in this ring.
I just hope when the new building gets built that they have a better press area for us to set up our cameras and everything.
Well, I would think that you're on top of that one, Bob Cohn, and our good friend out in the van, Terry Hardica, is right on top of making sure they get us a great press box area.
Well, we'll work on it.
As long as you got me my own seat that says Larson on the back of it, we're fine.
Okay. Yep.
And lots of food, coffee, donuts, and hot dogs, and you name it, because a guy that's the size of me, I need to eat.
Next up for the Blue Devils will be Friday night. They'll have to travel to International Falls to take on the Broncos. Our next telecast will be on Tuesday night. We'll be a part of the My 9 telecast as Reed and I and our entire Mesabi Community Television production and camera crew will be at the IRA Civic Center in Grand Rapids for Blue Devil hockey against Grand Rapids. Next up for Greenway, Tuesday night, they'll be hosting the Duluth-Denfeld Hunters on their ice over there in Coleraine. So those are what both of these teams have coming up.
Well, it should be a great game there at the IRA Civic Center Tuesday night. Greenway came out of there Saturday with a 4-1 victory over the Grand Rapids Thunderhawks. It was a 4-1 game, but it really, the scoreboard didn't depict how Grand Rapids played. It didn't show the story of the tale of the game. It was actually, the fourth goal was an open net goal at the end of the game, and Grand Rapids actually played a pretty good game that night. Greenway just had a little bit more in the tank, which I'm kind of surprised I haven't seen yet here in this game, which means if they've got another gear, they're probably going to shift at this period.
Coach, your concerns right now as you come into the third period, playing against a team with maybe a little bit more talent than you have. You've played very well. You've held a 2-2 tie. What would be your concerns right now thinking about this third period?
You know, to be honest with you, I would have a heck of a lot more less concerns right now if I'm Coach Cale Finseth. The underdog right now is really got the advantage. The longer that Virginia stays close in this game, tied or close, the more momentum they're going to gain at the end of the game. The longer Virginia stays tied or close in this game, the longer they have a better chance of winning. If I had concern, if I were Coach Clafton, I would be worried right now. It's probably going to take a million years for this ice to settle up here for it. And I can see linesman Jace Friedlieb out there, little brother of assistant coach Evan Friedlieb, running the defense there to the right of Coach Cale Finseth. He's calling the shots here. He's going to drop the puck now.
We're underway. Our final 17 minutes of regulation, a 2-2 hockey game. 1-1 after 1, 2-2 after 2. These teams have played evenly matched, although the shots are favoring Raiders. Here's a breakout pass. Raiders starting with their second unit, which is Ryla, Jernander, and Birdsall. Blue Devils likewise going with Chesser, Zadmakar, and Oakland. Again, both coaches matching up their 1s against 1s and 2s against 2s. Neither team has played their third line, or very little of their third line.
Yeah, I've seen flashes of third line players get mixed into first or second line situation.
Puck is in the Blue Devil zone. It's in behind Cam Krybick, where the loose puck is picked up by Doherty's outlet pass, kept in by Miller, off a body, deflected to the far corner. Birdsall battles for it. Flatly lost his glove and his stick, and we have a whistle. I missed it. What happened there?
Puck went out of play there, and it went into the Blue Devil bench, and Jace Friedlieb quick on the tweeter over there and took care of it.
Now both teams are back to their top lines. Puck is kicked along the backboards, picked up by Nathan Cotagelli in behind his net. Outlet pass. Supitz will get it up to Moreland. Here's Moreland coming in with 2 goals tonight. Moreland right side. His shot was wide. It'll be kept in by Bonicato, and now here come the Raiders breaking out. Long pass comes up to Lawson. Lawson gets it back to the point. Here's a blast taken, was just wide. That was Trombley back at the point. Cross ice pass. And the Blue Devils are able to get it out of the zone. Loose puck is picked up by Moreland. Here comes Moreland in the zone. Moreland, and it was off a skate of Miller. Nice defensive play by Christian Miller.
Little slew foot there. I don't know if it was intentional or accidental, but kind of a dangerous play.
Oh, there's a dangerous pass, a turnover in the Blue Devil zone, but lucky enough that Bonicato was able to get it out of the zone. Raiders backing up in their own end. We're 2 minutes into our final 17 minutes of this period. 2-2 hockey game. Raiders and the Blue Devils. Number 4 ranked in the state, Greenway of Coleraine.
The third line getting a shift here for Virginia. We're getting out there with Grant Bonicato and Ryan Scherf.
Here's Scherf now coming zone. Scherf lets go of a shot. It was off Miller, deflected to the corner. Now loose puck is kept in by Drake. Goes deep in the corner. Miller after it. Scherf going in after it. Puck is along the near boards. It'll be kept in by Isaacson of the Blue Devils. In behind, that's Scherf going to the far corner with the puck. Being hounded by Lance. Loose puck now is picked up, and here come the Raiders back. That was Ryla. Shot taken right on, and Krybick with the save.
A quick trigger pull there by Tristan Birdsall right on the net there, and Cam Krybick already making his presence known here in the third period, making a stop there. Real quick trigger pull there by Tristan Birdsall at the top of the circles there, right by the Blue Devil bench.
Here come the Blue Devils breaking out of the zone. Oakland comes into the zone. Here's Oakland, his backhand. Oh, and he hit the goaltender in the face with the stick, and the mask comes off. Not intentional by any means.
Mask came off there, but guy coming hard to the net, and you know that's kind of the dangerous things that happen in the game. It was just a weird play, and actually the goalie put himself in that position right there. As much as I hate to say it, he jumped out to play the puck, and Oakland doing what he's supposed to do as a player, go to the net hard. You know, I hate to see that happen because the helmet came off and concussions can happen there, but he seemed like he was okay.
Elich shoots the puck up the boards. Could not get it out. Now Ryla to Lance. And it clears back in the Blue Devil end. Virginia with a little trouble in their own end. Right out front, and a goal! Again, a defensive lapse by the Blue Devils cost them.
Weird turnover there in the back of right into just in front of Cam Krybeck, and Micah Jernander, Johnny on the spot with that one there. He was just in the right place at the right time as we kind of made a weird play. Actually poke check there by Kodajelli, and just a little bit of a miss. I don't know, it was a weird bounce. I can't really say that that was a defensive mistake there. I could just say it went off of Ryla's foot. Kodajelli reaches for it, ends up right on Micah Jernander's stick, and I guess he was in the right place at the right time. There's something to be said about that.
So Jernander gives the Raiders a 3-2 lead over the Blue Devils.
Well, they're calling it unassisted, but I think Ryla kind of kicked it up to him. I'd have given Ryla an assist on that play, to be honest.
Oh, I gave him one. Yeah. I gave Ryla an assist.
Bob, your stats matter, okay?
Those
are the ones that I think are the most important.
They do. I get to watch a replay.
Without a doubt. Yep. Hands went up there in the Blue Devil bench there. Every player and every coach on the bench there thought there was a trip.
Here come the Blue Devils. This is Zupitz. Or check that. This is Kylan. Kylan will drop it. Here's a pass right out front, and Zupitz could not pull the trigger.
Nice behind-the-back pass there by Cade Moreland. Started off with Kylan on the play.
Here's Vekic, pass right in front, intercepted by Moreland, back checking for the Blue Devils. Here comes Kylan back. Into the zone. Kylan's go over shot. Now Lance shoots it up the boards. Lawson.
We got some pretty tired players out here right now. Both teams really going back and forth. It's like a game of chess. I'm going to put my first line out. You're going to put your first line out. I'm going to put my second line out. You're going to put your second line out.
Puck is cleared back into neutral ice. Raiders now with a 1-goal lead. Just over 12 minutes to play in regulation. Moreland had it tipped away.
And really, the Blue Devils actually started with a couple of third line shifts here. They at least got one.
Here's Chesser. Goaltender came out and played the angle real nice, and now we've got a penalty coming. Virginia's going to go on the power play. Or maybe it's going to be the Raiders. They blew the whistle. Let's see.
Now they're going to give Chesser. Chesser's going to get a cross-check penalty. A little frustration there. I didn't see it, so I can't argue.
I'm not sure if we've got that on a replay or not. I don't think we would have followed Chesser. So the Blue Devils, this is crunch time right now. The Raiders with a 1-goal lead. They have this powerful power play unit.
Well, the Blue Devils still 100% on the power play here. I got to think that the way that they work on this power play is gonna put a little pressure here on the Raiders.
Here's Miller with a blast in behind the net. Lawson and Tromley playing catch on their right side. Towards the net. Now Lawson will pass it off to Lance. Left side. In the corner. That's Tromley going to the far side. To Lawson. Here's Lawson walking the circle. Lance will control it. He'll give it to Miller. 11 minutes to go in our hockey game. Blue Devils will be shorthanded for another 70 seconds. Pass to the side of the net. Nobody on the other side. It was wide open. Kylan applies a check, trying to get the puck out of the zone, and they do get it out. Raiders will have to tag.
Well, that's going to be an easy clear there for the Blue Devils as the Raiders went offside there for a second and had an opportunity to clear that thing. You're going to see the Raiders stretch the zone a little bit. I saw it before the power play. Lawson was hanging out in the neutral zone. Obviously, they're going to do a stretch guy here in the power play, but you're going to see it 5-on-5 a little bit with Coach Clapton. I know what he thinks. I know how he thinks. And he's going to try to slow a couple things down. That almost went in the net, Bob.
It almost went in the net. The goaltender was sleeping down at the other end, and boy, Buddha almost got a goal for us up on that far end. Wow, that was close. That happens a lot of times. You know, the goalie falls asleep. He's watching his team pass the puck around on a power play, and then boom.
Well, I'm starting to kind of take in a little bit of Coach Cale Finseth's style, and I kind of like it. he does play a little bit more of a passive style with his forecheck, and it kind of tends to lull the team asleep over there. And I've seen it, you know, we've kind of erred on maybe we're not getting the effort that we should get out of him, but I don't think that's the case. I think the way that he's forechecking, he's running a 1-2-2, and it's more passive, which means they're waiting for turnovers. And both goals that were scored were on turnovers. One was on a great play up the ice in the second period, but the first one was on a turnover, just being in the right spot.
Lance overskates the puck. Chesser after it. Here comes Chesser in the zone. He's being hooked. Here's a shot just wide. Boy, Tony was being hooked that time, and Tony now picks up the puck again to the side of the net. Comes back to the point. Cotagelli will keep it in. Dumps it around the boards and behind Zadnikar. Tries to control it.
Blue Devils sticking with 100% on the PK right now. That's awesome.
Just over 9 to play. A 1-goal lead for the Raiders. Right in front of the scorer's bench, and now it's picked up by Vekic. Cross ice, Vekic. Here's a pass, and a shot was taken by Jernander, was wide. Blue Devils coming back. Oakland goes around the defense. The sophomore centers a pass, nobody there. Back at the point, here is Moreland. Moreland passed towards the slot area, and a nice defensive play by Elich of the Raiders. Elich at the blue line, gets the puck up to Vekic, and he'll dump it in. The Raiders now will change all 5 of their skaters. This is Isaacson for the Blue Devils, up to the blue line, and then it was tapped back towards that Virginia blue line. Miller in his own end with 8:20 to play.
A back and forth hockey game here in the third period, and just both teams trying not to make mistakes right now because they know that one mistake could be the difference.
Raiders will have to tag up. Loose puck is picked up by Isaacson of the Blue Devils. Cross ice to Doherty. He'll shoot it back over to Isaacson. Try to come up the boards, and Virginia unable to get it out. It'll be kept in by Christian Miller of the Raiders. To the circle. Now Doherty will grab the puck, and he'll backhand it, but again, Miller will keep it right towards the net. Bouncing puck, and another save by Krybek.
2 huge saves by Krybek right in a row. Both of them, I think, made by his skate lace. Both saves, unbelievable. Keeps them short, just down by 1 goal. Keeps them in that 1-goal differential.
Boy, I'll tell you, it's well worth the money just to come and watch Cam Krybek play goal.
Oh, without a doubt.
God, he's just unbelievable. Just
he's
so
spot
much fun
on tonight. You know, the scoreboard does say 3, but he's really seen a lot of chances tonight by the Raiders and stifled many of them. Just amazing saves.
Doherty will bank it off the glass. Virginia cannot get it out of the zone. They do get it out. Lance shoots it up the board, just right in front of the scorer's table once again. This is Lance. 6:50 to play. A 1-goal Raider lead. This is Tuesday night hockey from the Cupoletti Arena.
Virginia's going to have to figure out how to take a little bit shorter shifts. They're down to 2 lines for the most part here tonight, and if you don't keep it to 30 to 35 seconds, it's going to be you'll be running out of gas here.
Under 6.5 to play. Zadnikar try to keep it in, but it jumps over the blue line. Here comes Vekic back. Vekic will drop it. He tried to hit Birdsall, or check that. He tried to hit Jernander. Now Oakland on the right side. Oakland backhand. Puck is loose.
Great play to the net right there. Brett Oakland just making a backhand shot to the net with Chesser going. That could have been in. That could have ended up in the back of the net there if the puck was in the right position.
6 minutes to play. A shot right on by Kyle. Another shot. And Penny will just cover up for the Raiders.
Definitely getting some pressure here on the Raider net. They're back out there with the top unit, the top line for the Blue Devils. Moreland, Zupitz, and Kylan up front, and Cotagelli and Bonacato on the back end. They're 1 and 2 defensemen. The 6 best players on the ice right now for the Blue Devils. They're all out there at crunch time.
Puck goes in the corner where Trombley will pick up the puck. Long pass. This is Ryla coming in. Ryla. And another save by Krybick. Comes to the near boards where Trombley will pick up the puck. He'll get bumped around by Bonacato. Ryla then takes Bonacato. Now some extra checking going on as the Blue Devils unable to get it out once again. This is Miller back to the blue line. This is Trebojevic. Rings around the boards. In behind, it's Lawson. Back to Ryla on the left side. On top, Trebojevic lets go of a shot. It hits some bodies. Goes to the far side. Coming up on 5 minutes to play. A 1-goal lead for the Raiders of Greenway of Coleraine. Here's Trebojevic's shot deflected wide. And finally, Zupins will pick up the puck, try to get it up to Moreland. Moreland takes it back in his own end. Lawson is all over him. Right out front of the shot, and Krybick again with the save.
We talked about the 6 best players being out on the ice for the Blue Devils. Clearly, the 5 best players for the Raiders were out there at one time. You just had Cam Lance out there with Christian Miller on the point. You just had Dante Lawson, Nikolai Ryla, and Ben Trombley all on the ice at the same time as well. And they're getting opportunities to the net. Cam Krybick had to make 3 huge saves that shift.
4:48 to play. Here's a shot deflected. Dawson Flatley in behind, having some trouble controlling it. Dawson will go after it once again. Now Zadnikar try to get it back to Flatley. Oakland into neutral ice. Here comes Brett Oakland. Blue Devils offside. As Chesser got knocked down and carried into the zone.
It looked like it was I mean, you can see some frustration. It looked like a little bit of interference there, but at any rate, good old 1-5er there was not a happy camper. Got pulled into the zone and called it offsides.
And you're right, it very easily could have been called interference there.
Yeah, no question.
Isaacson headmans a pass up for Zadnikar. He'll just put it in the zone. Oakland going after it. Elich gets there first for the Raiders. Now Chesser in that corner tries to control it. Oakland also in there. And it's fired around the boards by Lance. And it's kept in by Isaacson of the Blue Devils. Under 4 to play. A 1-goal lead for the Raiders. Here's a pass. Nice play by Flatley. It's put in. And now the Blue Devils will change their forwards. They'll come back with that number 1 line again.
Waiting for that turnover with the forecheck that the Blue Devils are playing. They're playing for that opportunity of the Greenway Raiders to make a mistake, and they play that 1-2-2 forecheck. They're waiting for the turnover. It almost happened right there.
It's put into the Virginia end. Now the Raiders will change. They change their defense. Cordigelli, and then it's put in deep by Moreland. Miller in behind his net. 3:10 to play in our hockey game. Lance will shoot along the boards. Up to Lawson. He gets just crunched by Jack Zupins. Coming in is Trombley. And a save by goaltender.
Weird. Another save by Krybick. Wow.
Oh, wide open net. No light. And Krybick is on it.
Unbelievable. Somebody's got to get this kid the puck tonight after the. I don't care if it's a win or a loss. Cam Krybick better get the puck. I think he pulled it out of the net, but.
Watch this replay. Oh, man.
Well, you know what? You can't see it. So if the guy that's up there with the light switch can't see it, then it isn't a goal. And the referee couldn't see it. That was a really, really good disguise by Cam Krybick. Wide open, yawning net. You know what? That could have been across the line, but he sure pulled it out quick if it was. You got to give him credit for it.
Beckage taken into the boards. And now Jack Zupins will get it into the zone. Taken away by Trebojevic. It clears. Blue Devils will have to tag up as the shot comes right on goaltender Penny. 2.5 minutes to play in regulation. Raiders with a 3-2 lead on the Blue Devils. Here's Vekic. He tried to drop it for Lawson. Intercepted and cleared out of the zone all the way back into the Raider end. Where now Lawson will pick up the puck and a nice play by Bonacato. Deep in the Blue Devil end, Jelly in that corner, battling Vekic for the puck. Lawson shoots along the backboards. Moreland will pick up the puck. Moreland with both the Virginia goals tonight.
Again, we've talked about some of the shifts. They're getting a little bit long. If they want to last here, well, there's 2 minutes left, and I guess there'll be an opportunity for a timeout here pretty quick, but some long shifts in the third period.
Pass was off Moreland. It goes right on Penny. It'll count as a shot on goal. And now the Raiders a long pass up for Lawson, but he could not control this. Flatley with a play for the Blue Devils. Now Lawson in the corner. He gets double teamed in that corner. 90 seconds to play in regulation. Here is Lance. Raiders with a 3-2 shot. Goes right on. And a save made. Another shot. And somehow Krybik got a stick on it. And another shot was wide. 1:18 to play. We'll watch that Blue Devil net. Krybik will be coming soon.
Blue Devils are going to look for that opportunity to get a timeout.
Blue Devils got away with a trip in behind the net. Centering pass. Goaltender was down with 60 seconds to go. Here's a shot from the blue lines wide. The Blue Devil net is open. Down to 55 seconds to go. Puck is cleared out of the zone. Zupid's in his own end with 48 seconds to play. A long pass. Here comes Kylan in his zone. Kylan goes down. No call.
I'd have been calling a penalty shot about right there. It looked like a pretty good opportunity to score late in the game. A penalty is not going to help.
Here's the Raiders just dumping into lengthy ice. This should be icing with 26 seconds to go, and now maybe we'll get a timeout right now.
Yeah, I wonder if we get the chance to see that. I don't know if we'll get a replay on that, but yeah, well, maybe not a, well, hard to say if he's gonna, he was almost in the clear, got a little whack on him right late there. Could have potentially been a penalty shot, but at any rate, extra slash there, and there has to be a call made on that one. No question about it.
Blue Devils just took a timeout with 26.6 seconds remaining. Again, our next telecast will be a My 9 telecast. That'll be on Tuesday night, as Reed and I will be over in Reed's hometown of Grand Rapids at the IRA Civic Center, as the Blue Devils and the Thunderhawks will be doing battle. Again, that's Tuesday night, December the 4th, from Grand Rapids, Minnesota. There's a good look at the Blue Devils bench. There's head coach Finseth, and now there is Coach Clafton talking with his Raiders. Face-off's going to be back in the offensive zone for the Blue Devils.
Goalie's going to be pulled. They're going to wide open net on the Blue Devil end, but they're going to get a chance to get 6 attackers out there on the ice for the Blue Devils, and hopefully get some chances to get shots on that net down there. And really, this is the opportunity for the Blue Devils to crank it up. They have kind of played a little bit of a game of turnover hockey up to this point, but with 26 seconds left, they need to have at least 2 people on the puck all the time, outnumber them with 2 extra guys on the puck, making sure that there's traffic in front of the goalie.
Ryla will take the draw against Moreland. Ryla wins the draw. Lance will try to clear it. It's up the boards and it's cleared out of the zone. 20 seconds to go. Bonacato in behind his net. Off the boards, and now here come the Blue Devils. This is Zupid's coming in zone, and he was called offside at the blue line.
I wonder if Coach Evan Friedlieb is going to have a conversation with little brother Jace Friedlieb after the game about calling that offsides. It was offsides. Yeah. It was. But Coach Evan Friedlieb doesn't see it from his angle, and linesman Jace Friedlieb sees it best where he's at.
Puck is cleared back in the Blue Devil zone. Here's Lawson on the backhand. 4 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1, and our hockey game is over. The Raiders and the Blue Devils battle, and Greenway of Coleraine comes away with a 3-2 victory. We'll try to get the final saves before we wrap up tonight's telecast. We've got 1 goal we'll also show you, the game-winning goal. Blue Devils and Raiders each had 3 penalties tonight for 6 minutes. Get the save. Okay, our final saves tonight for Cam Krybick. He had 10, 10, and 8 for 28. And Penny, that's Tyler Penny in the Greenway nets. He had 3, 6, and 10 in the final period for 19. Before we get your final thoughts, let's watch that final goal, the game-winning goal at 3:13. Jernander from Ryala was the game winner tonight for the Raiders.
Yeah, right off the foot of Ryla. He should get an assist for that. He kicked the puck up to Micah Jernander, and he buries that game-winning goal. And that was the nail in the coffin there. They were able to hang on, but with a lot of chances from the Blue Devils late in the game. A couple potential penalty missed calls that were there. And you know what? We won't get nitpicky with the referees. These guys don't get paid enough money to take the flack that they take around here in games like this. It wasn't their fault, but definitely a lot of chances there that could have been a tie.
So that'll do it from the Coupe Lady Arena. Hope you enjoyed our telecast. Reed, it's always fun working with my partner in crime, Reed Larson, Bob Cohn. Again, we want to thank our entire production crew tonight. We've got Justin Pullman, and we've got Javante George up on the 2 end cameras, and Darwin Aller, our main camera, for Terry Hardica down in the truck running all the controls. And we want to thank everyone for just watching tonight's telecast, because it was just an outstanding hockey game. A lot of fun bringing it to you, and hope you'll be joining us again on My 9 on Tuesday night as we have the Blue Devils against the Thunderhawks.
Yeah, thank you for your patience for the viewers tonight. I know that we've had some technical difficulties in and out of this game, but early on in the season we're working the bugs out here, and excited for our My 9 presentation Tuesday night at Grand Rapids, which is going to be a phenomenal hockey game. The Blue Devils have a great chance to come out of that with a victory.
So the Raiders go to 2 wins and no losses on the season. The Blue Devils suffer their first loss. They are now 1 win and 1 loss. The Blue Devils will be back in action Friday night or Saturday night as they travel up to International Falls to take on the Broncos. That'll do it. Final score tonight from the Coupe Lady Arena: Greenway of Coleraine 3 and Virginia 2. Good night, everyone. Boards into center ice. Now the puck comes into the Blue Devils zone. They battle for it, and it goes in deep. But they were down front. Oh, what a save. Oh, boy, the Blue Devils got really careless in their own, and Moyer almost made Virginia. Almost cost the Blue Devil one. Senior with a big save for the Blue Devils. Here they come attacking once again. This is Hallett, gets it into the Virginia end. Try to hit Strife. And now it's clear. Here come the Blue Devils. This is Jack Supitz coming in. Supitz is shot and a save by goaltender Orchard. Oh, a great chance by number 11 of the Blue Devils.